Okay, we're back.
Mother, I'm sorry for losing my voice.
It's okay. Don't do it again, though. I'll fucking kill you.
I lived, bitch.
So true.
I am heard. Yippee.
I gotta do something about Zilk's eyes. They're like too... Why did it just launch on my... Rogue Trader? Hello? Rogue Trader just launched on my third monitor? Game is third monitor content, apparently?
You cannot kill me in any way that matters.
Oh, this is weird.
Mother, help, my soul got strayed. I clipped into the chair and I saw a white woman.
I'm so sorry, little guy. This is weird. Can I decide what monitor you're on? That is certainly not the monitor that you're on. Hold on. There we go. Now it's fixed. Didn't start on your drawing tablet? I do not have my drawing tablet hooked up right now. It's not easy to do so. There, we've limited the game to 60 FPS. That is, I did need to do that. All right. This weirds me out. This wasn't like this, was it? With like the black bars up here? Hold on. I'm a little weirded out. I'm gonna restart it. Just real fast. Made with Unity, by the way? Think of the resolution from monitor 3. It might have. In which case I'll need to fix that, but that should still, it's still 16 by 9. Let me check. No, 2516 by 1440. I don't know, whatever. As long as it's not like that in game, because it's not like that in here, so whatever. Maybe it's just like that. That's just the title screen. This is fine, so whatever. All right. Is my mic still good? It's not like the game being bad or something, is it? I'm still good? Everything's still good? Sure, we'll play on normal. Oh. I get to pick a character. Bahar... I fucking love 40K, dude. I was gonna talk about this earlier. I fucking love 40K so much. It's just like a world. These people made Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. I didn't know that. How hard is it to make a custom character? How much is it? How bad is it? Ooh, mommy? Hello? Okay. I like this girl. Game's audio is a bit hot. What do you mean, like loud? Or is it like crunchy? Loud, okay. I can turn it down. That's easy. Turn down like 5. She's bald! Okay, I don't care that much about my person for a beta, especially. Oh, you can make her kind of chubby and muscly. Okay, all right. Let's try to give her a portrait that matches, or a hair that matches her portrait. Can I flip this? Because it's this hair, but it's flipped. I don't seem to be able to. Okay, whatever. That's fine. The mic crunchies are back? What? Is it just this game? Okay, I'm just gonna go with the character. Sure, I don't care. Oh, you can customize their appearance and their portrait and stuff. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Appearance, face, body type 2. I'm just gonna try to get through this very quickly to see if maybe once I get in game it's not crunchy.
Another clean strike. I'll see you destroyed.
Sure. Can I like change your clothes? Implants? Oh, okay, you can give her implants. I wish you could like zoom in a little. Okay, all those implants are not that good. Okay. Von Valancius flagship. Okay, you can random it, apparently. Invictum Erebus? Oh, okay, no, you can just change the name. Unforgiven. Okay, cool. Good ship name. She's a marksman. Sure, okay. Let's give her a different name. Mod. Sure. Sure. This can be Mod. Okay, I'm really hoping the mic crunchies go away. I'm really hoping they go away. You sound fine now? Yeah, but like what if I continue to talk for like an extended sentence and I just keep talking 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 and I just keep talking? Is it crunchy? Is it getting bad? Is it crunching around? Is it you hearing little statics, little bloops, little bleeps going? Well, I guess I shouldn't make the noise because then you wouldn't be able to tell. But if I just keep talking and talking and talking, is it crunchy? Is it bad? Oh no, I have to read it out with the crunchy. Conrad Voigter, an excellent place for contemplation. The man who has approached you is gazing down into the depths of the vast temple on one of the lower decks. Good night, goodbye, Silver. Thanks for being here. One is the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity. Ooh, okay, time to get tried for heresy immediately. Frankly, such excess can be tiring at times. The man gives you a sympathetic look. I believe there are those among us who share that sentiment, but such is our duty, is it not? To overcome base weakness and desire so as to excel in our service to the God Emperor, the master of humanity. He shakes his head and turns to you. Sorry for being heretical. Allow me to introduce myself, Conrad Voigtevir, Master of Whispers in the employ of Her Ladyship, Rogue Trader. Oh, it's got like a wiki thing. It's got the thing where like you can hover over a word and it's like a wiki to tell you stuff. I like struggle to play CRPGs that don't have this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Video games that don't have this for my ADHD ass, I struggle to play them. Yeah, I'm really glad more stuff has this because I'm sorry, I'm stupid. Like, I don't even mean that in a self-depreciating way. I legitimately have memory issues. I can't deal with like having to remember. I'm not good at just like even at the best of times, I'm not good at just mentally placing myself in a world and just like learning all of the like the terms and the ways stuff works and stuff like that. Some people are. Marcy is great at it. For example, Marcy can just start reading a book where they just instantly start treating you like you know everything about the world, and she's like she's good, she's fine. That is not a problem for her. Me, every 5 seconds I'm like, what is this? What does that mean? I don't understand. I'm a baby. I'm a baby and I have memory issues. At your service, I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. See, I was told the Pathfinder games were not very good. Highlighted words and dog. Okay. My name is Lieutenant General Maud Scipio Grimald, commander of the 8th Army of the Scanthian Janissaries. My regards, Lieutenant General. The Astro Militarium is the hammer of the God Emperor. Isn't that what they say? Well, it's likely that fate will give you ample opportunity to demonstrate your talents as a commander. He smiles faintly, but you are not sure if it is directed at you. I will be frank with you. You may forget your family name no matter who gave it to you or what its origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valancius and carry the burden of an heir on of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynasty with her same ladyship. Bear it with honor. Good night, Renso. You say I'm one of the rogue trader's heirs, and there is another candidate. He shrugs slightly. There are, and you will meet them soon enough. Lord Captain, a strange title for Lady Theodora. There are such traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis. At the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore it is sacrosanct. Oh, whoa! Oh my god. Oh my god, that's a lot. Oh my good god. Just gonna gently hit the X button there. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about that. What are your responsibilities? I mean, I know a bunch of 40k lore. To put it plainly, I'm the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interest of House von Valancius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate her vulnerabilities and exploit those of others. Why am I aboard this vessel? Why have I been brought here? So you may fulfill your blood duty, mod. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you've been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader in deeds blessed by the God Emperor. I see that you were shocked. Yes, you understood correctly. Lady Theodora's authority indeed supersedes that of those of whom you obeyed before. Lord Captain's power is so great that she is capable of performing unthinkable feats, such as changing the fate of a servant of the Imperium, your fate. A galaxy-spanning interstellar human empire ruled by the living god who is known as the Emperor of Mankind. Well, well, let's not, the living god, I don't know about that. Let's take that back a few steps. Could you really call that living? I don't know. He's kind of just a withered skull that hasn't like said anything or has like no vital life signs for like millennia except a heartbeat every like 10,000 years, and we sacrifice 1,000 psychers to him every day just to make sure that he you know, might have a heartbeat again in 10,000 more years. Tell me about the other one whose ship I have found myself. Rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. Lady Theodora despises both qualities. Tora sold you out, goddammit. Rip. Objective funniest opinion is that Gleeman just lied about the Emperor talking to him for clout. That would be funny. But of course, I've come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. Imagine you have many questions for your patroness. I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It's been an arduous journey thus far. No, everybody in 40k is fucked up. The closest that there is to a non-fucked up group is the Tau. because they're aliens from like a different, like not the Milky Way, from like a different entire like galaxy, and they just kind of found the Milky Way and were like, hello everybody, we have come to sow peace and cleanliness, and oh god, you're killing us, oh stop. Tower from the Milky Way? Oh, okay, whatever. I just know that they're like from far away, and they just kind of showed up one day and were like, hi everybody, we're here to have peace, and then everybody was like, we're going to kill you now, and they were like, well, time to bring out the mechs. Hey, let's hold on, I will not accept this fucking slander in chat, okay? Hold on, I won't accept this fucking slander. You will not tell me that the orcs are bad guys. You will not. They are just little fungus boys who want to make the red go faster. Fuck you. They are the good guys? I refuse to believe they are the bad guys. The orcs are sweet little boys, sweet little duders. All they want to do is spread their spores everywhere and make a Doretta go faster. They're just having a good time. Oh, I bet you're a fucking Gork worshipper, aren't you? Ugh. Can you chat? Can you believe this fucking Gork worshipper over here? I'm a Mork boy myself. Orcs thinks purple is a stealthy color. Why? Well, you've never seen a purple orc, have you? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, the orcs in 40k have a power called the Wog. I have quite literally no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so the orcs are a biological super weapon created by an ancient race that nobody knows, I think. The orcs are a biological super weapon that are a fungus. Their spores spread around, they go in the ground, and then very shortly after it will turn into a mushroom, and then that mushroom will spawn, like, will turn into a fully sized orc. Orcs are humanoid, like, you know, big green guys or whatever. Yeah, so hold on. Orcs are mushrooms. They go to planets, and just by existing, they passively spread their spores around, which causes more of them. So just by existing, they passively create them more of themselves. They have a power which they call the Wog, because they don't have a better word for it. And Wog is the sound of an orc like charging in for battle. The Wog is essentially, if an orc believes that it is true, then it is true. For example, the famous example is red makes it go faster. In other words, red is a fast color. So if you take a car and you paint it red and then an orc drives it, that car goes faster. They rewrite reality. Yeah, it's like a hive mind, but like kind of. It's like a hive belief system rather. If enough orcs believe a thing to be true, then it is true. Purple makes you stealthy. If you paint yourself purple, you will be invisible. Orc spaceships work because they think they work. Their guns are literally just pieces of scrap metal vaguely shaped like a gun. They're just vaguely shaped like a gun. They just pick it up and it starts firing. Specifically, they start going daka daka daka. That's the sound they make, and their guns fire bullets. In fact, there is a famous battle where this power was used against them, where they were fighting off some humans, some like not space marines, some like regular humans, and the humans ran out of ammo. So they thought, hold on, let me try something. And they stood up and started shooting their gun, but making shooting sounds with their mouths, and their guns started firing because the orcs believed their guns were firing. Orcs would be the strongest, most reprehensible, most fucked up thing in the galaxy, but they're just too stupid to understand how their power works. The one thing that makes orcs like beatable is that they are legitimately too stupid to understand how their power works. They don't understand they have the Wog, they just know things work. They just know how things work. Also, they have two gods that they worship, Gork and Mork, who are actually just the same guy, but some orcs think that it's Gork, and some orcs think that it's Mork. And so you've just got factions of orcs who worship Mork and factions of orc who worship Gorks or Gork. And it's just a big orc in the sky that fights the other one. But they're just this, it's just the same guy. Orcs are incredible. They are my favorite thing in 40K. Yeah, one is brutal but cunning, and the other is cunning but brutal. Exactly. Also, the old commissar that said orcs thought his gaze could kill and then replaced a perfectly good eye to put a laser gun in his face. The theory is that the orcs thought the idea so hard he felt the need to do it. Yeah. Orcs rewrite reality just by thinking a thing is true. They just don't know how to use this power. So they're effectively the strongest race in the entire series, but they just don't know it. So they're just silly little guys, and they are the good guys, and you can't convince me otherwise. There's a lot of stuff like that in 40K. For example, there's another entire set of whoa, you can actually move your shit around. That's cool. There is another entire set of an enemy race called the Necrons, which are basically ancient pharaoh Egyptian robots that are also vampires that like got put to sleep inside ancient like pyramid temples underground in a bunch of planets. And nobody knew they existed. Nobody knew what they were. And then one day they just woke up. They all just woke up, and Necrons are effectively unkillable because their technology is actually so far advanced from everybody else that they're kind of like the Borg from Star Trek. If you shoot them with a gun, you might kill a few, and then they will adapt to guns, and then they can't be killed anymore. Like they are effectively impossible to kill, and also they eat people and things because they're like vampire cannibals. We deaden people today? Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, they don't break, they teleport away for repairs. There's a whole game that I should play actually, where a tech faction called the Omnisaya, the Mechanicus, which is like people in the human faction who have like taken transhumanism to a whole nother level and are literally like Adeptus Mechanicus, that's what it is. There's a whole game called Mechanicus, which is about those guys who are like humans that have made themselves as like tech as possible. They believe the flesh is weak and should be replaced by machine, but ultimately still believe very much so in the idea of the human spirit. So the flesh is weak, but the soul is strong. They're also responsible for basically all of the tech. Anyway, they fight the Necrons in a game called Mechanicus, which is kind of makes sense because they're kind of their like natural enemy, considering that they're basically like undead Egyptian pharaoh robot gods. AI aren't allowed, but human brains on a chip are fair game. Yeah. So like every computer that you use in 40K is a person or was a person. You are not allowed to make like, you're not allowed to make like AI. That's explicitly forbidden. You are not allowed to do that in the Imperium. That will get you killed. That is heresy. That is like replacing or like putting a soul in a machine. You're not allowed to do that. You're totally allowed to like scoop out like a prisoner's brain and put it in a computer and essentially make them a tech slave forever though, so that like the green light can change. That's allowed. You're allowed to do that. That's fine. That's totally fine. Smile. Yeah, you can have unthinking computers, but you can't make any kind of AI. These actually are so commonplace, they have a name. They're called servitor skulls. There's also another faction in 40. I'm sorry, I'm autistic about this stuff. Yeah, they will. There's also another faction in 40K called Tyranids, which I really, really love because they have a sub-faction called the Gene Stealer Cultist. Basically, hold on. I'm going to show the Tyranids, actually. I'm sorry. You've unlocked a special interest. I'm sorry, chat. I'm really sorry. I'm really fucking sorry. Tyranids are really fucking cool. They're like they're either my first favorite race or my second. I don't really know. It's between them and orcs. I'm so normal about Gene Stealers. I've definitely not jerked off to a book about a book called Gene Stealer Cultist, which details a person getting taken over by Gene Stealer Cultist. No, I've never done that. Anyway. Hold on. I'm trying to find a good image of Tyranids. I mean, I guess I can just find their models. So, Gene Stealers, or not Gene Stealers, sorry, Tyranids are basically aliens, like xenomorphs. Like these things, they're just xenomorphs. They've got the teeth, they've got the big, like, long, like, Sharpies. They're just xenomorphs. Like, they are effectively this universe's xenomorphs. They've got, like, the runners and stuff. They're just xenomorphs. It's fine. They're just a ripoff of xenomorphs. And if they were just that, they would be pretty boring. I would be pretty bored by this. But basically, I don't know how to totally explain this. Yeah, sometimes they have squid faces like this one. I don't know how to totally explain this because I don't entirely remember it off the top of my head. But basically, these things are like intelligent. Basically, they can like, I think they like implant an egg in a human or something like that, kind of like they do in Alien. But that egg that they implant doesn't come out as one of these. It comes out like more human. And then that thing implants an egg in another human, and that thing comes out perfectly looking human. It's still a Tyranid, but it's like perfectly human, essentially. It's got like purple skin and it's bald and it'll have like weird ridges in its head, but otherwise, and like, you know, otherwise it looks perfectly human. And basically, through this process, they will convert people into this like religious cult that like functionally is obsessed with and worships the Tyranids, called Gene Stealer Cultist. And Gene Stealer Cultists then abduct normal people and like indoctrinate them into their cult and like give them the gift of like Tyranid kisses and stuff like that, and put eggs inside them and stuff like that. It becomes this whole thing. There is this insanely hot book. Yeah, the kiss does make you horny. Yeah. There is this insanely hot book, and it's not meant to be hot, but I would be lying if I told you that I didn't view it as an erotica, and I have absolutely jerked off to it before. There is this insanely hot book just called Gene Stealer Cultist. That's just the name of it. It's just Warhammer 40,000 Gene Stealer Cultist. I don't remember who wrote it, but what it is, it's about this prison world where like prisoners are sent with a small military outpost there, because prisoners in the 40K world, you can basically get imprisoned for like anything, and imprisonment isn't actually like you go to jail, you're in trouble. It's a lot more indentured servitude sort of thing. You'll get imprisoned basically just because they need more workers. So there's like this small, very, very small prison world, and there's like a military outpost there, and people start disappearing. And it's a POV book from like 3 or 4 different characters. And they eventually find out there's a Gene Stealer Cultist like cult underground that is abducting people and putting like, you know, worshiping or like making them part of the Tyranids and stuff like that. There's a guy who gets like, whoa, what is my mouth doing? Whatever. There's a guy who gets like, what is my mouth doing? Why does it like keep moving after I'm done talking? Stop that. I hate everything. Anyway, there's a guy who gets, I don't know why my eyes are doing that either. Whatever, I'll try to fix it later. There's a guy who gets kissed by a Tyranid in the book, and the back half of the book for like a number of chapters is this like slow brainwashing in his head where he just gets like hornier and hornier, and like he starts to go like, you know, he starts to go from like God save, you know, the Emperor saves mankind and stuff like that, into like, maybe the Tyranids aren't so bad, and like, you know, maybe the flesh is weak, and maybe the humans, maybe they're the next step in our evolution. Maybe we don't need to be humans anymore. And it just keeps going, and it just gets really in detail about this guy being slowly brainwashed and rewritten into being a gene stealer cultist. And he was like almost a space marine before. If you had a brainwashing thing, it's really hot. It's really hot. It has no right to be as hot as it is. Like, I cannot stress enough how in detail the brainwashing gets. Like, you literally like see him like, because you're like seeing quote unquote his thoughts, right? So you like see him start to like rationalize it, and like, you know, more and more like, maybe they're right actually. Like, it's fucked. It's fucked. It's really good, but it's fucked. It's so good. Hold on, I'm trying to find a thing about the Gene Stealer cultist. Is this it? Yeah, okay, so here's how it works. So basically, one Tyranid up here, this guy, the Patriarch, will like find a human and will kiss them, and it puts an egg in them that bonds with the human DNA. And it also makes them really horny, so they want to reproduce, and then like their reproductions cause first generations, which are known as acolytes. They are pretty alien. They've got like 4 arms. They've got, you know, they're somewhat humanoid, but they're pretty alien. You know, those things will fuck, and those will cause second generations. By the way, these things will raise to adulthood in like a matter of days. They very quickly become like adulthood and like do not take very long to grow up. So second generation, they are slightly more human, but there's not that much of a difference between the first and second generation. Second generation is able to speak English though, like to speak like common or whatever. They're like able to like talk. First generations can't. They speak like Tyranid. They're like ah, but you know, these things can like speak. By third generation, they are mostly human. If they wear like a hood or something and like don't show their head or their eyes or their teeth, like don't really show their face or have a mask on or something, you would be forgiven for just thinking it's a bald guy. I'm gonna. I mean, technically I just have to stream it for 2 hours, which is what I'm doing. But anyway, fourth generation, they're just human. They're just human. This is what gene stealers like try to obtain. They're just human. They just turn into humans, but they still have gene stealer DNA in them, and they're still like brainwashed and shit like that. At any point you can have an aberrant, which is these things. Just at any point you can have one that just gets kind of fucked up. And then finally the fifth generation, whenever these things have babies, they make fifth generation, which are like mostly just Tyranids. These things are almost entirely just Tyranids. They are seen as like the ultimate like form, like this is like the highest level of gene stealer cultist you can become. You were like, oh, I want to be one of these. You know, this is like, well, it's technically a Tyranid is the highest, but this is like an angel, and this is like God. So like this is like being an angel. So this is like a very high ranking member of the gene stealer cultist, and then any babies that fifth generations have will just turn into Tyranids. They can just do this to other races. In addition to regular reproduction, Tyranids can just do that. They're just allowed to do that. They're just able to be like, sorry, I have infected your race with me. I really don't know why my fucking mouth is doing this, and it's pissing me off so much, actually. I don't know why. Important thing with the human-looking cultist, there's no medical way to find out if they're a gene stealer. Yep. There is no way to find out if somebody is a gene stealer. There is absolutely none. Once they're at the 4th stage, there is you just have to like wait till they do some gene stealer shit. Why? What if I do that? Does that fix it? Maybe. We'll see. Hold on. All right, whatever. Anyway. They are biologically human in every observable way. Yeah. I didn't even interact in a special way. They are specific icons. Anyway, as you can tell, I didn't know about this game at all until like yesterday, but I'm actually pretty excited to be playing a CRPG that is in the 40K universe. I've kind of wanted something like this for a while. What does this do? Incomprehensible information is displayed on a large screen above the cogitators. You can make out mentions of unfamiliar systems and worlds, worlds among the numbers of logisticar symbols. Oh, it's up here. Okay. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, 40K is cool. Nope, that did not fix my mic or whatever it is. All right, cool, whatever. Candlelit altar with a copy of the 2348th volume of the Lex Imperialis and the Codex of the Imperium. Okay.
It's about time.
Yeah, 40K is a lot of horny stuff. Like, look at Slanesh. Who's literally a sex elder god, a non-binary sex god.
Annihilate them.
A wild xenobeast held in a cage for amusement has escaped. The rampaging creature or something. None of the Hellraiser type shit. Coward.
Princess says hi.
Oh yeah, also the Chaos, which is like the magical force that 40K people try to like fight against. Chaos, hi Blum Princess. Chaos is literally just made up of like emotions. All battles in the game are turn-based. On their turn, characters move, attack, and use their abilities. Select position with the... Okay. When determine how far a character can move in one turn, 1 MP corresponds to 1 cell in the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly. Every second cell takes away 2 MP. At the beginning of each turn, moving points to restore the maximum value. Okay. That makes sense. But yeah, like there's a god of like rage and blood and murder called Khorne. Blood for the blood god is the often used adage for him. So these cost, oh okay, so there's a separate bar for, okay. I was fucking awful at that. To attack, select the single shot icon on the skill bar. Hover over the enemy. Pop-up bar will indicate the choice to chance to hit and possible damage. Those with the attack tag can only be used once per turn. If the character makes an attack, they can no longer attack and lose movement points until the start of their next turn. Okay. Mod used ability Combined Arms. Wait, is that not the attack? Astro Militarium Commander and all their abilities deal an additional 20 damage, 20% times 2 damage to enemies that are adjacent to the commander or their allies until the end of turn. Well, if that guy is my ally, then it's adjacent here, but I don't know. Shot on the run. Okay, so that's not... Okay, this is the pistol shot. I see. I like Nurgle. Papa Nurgle is the best. Papa Nurgle's a big, ugly, like, fucked up thing that's like the embodiment of all disease, plague, like, you know, cancers, like just everything, any possible like disease in the world, but as opposed to being like pure misery and suffering like you would have, Nurgle is the only chaos god that like the cycle of death and stuff. Yeah, Nurgle is the only chaos god that actively loves and cares about his worshippers. The other chaos gods, if you worship them, they don't give a shit about you. They're just like, okay, whatever, I guess you do, cool. Action points. But Nurgle actively loves you and cares about you, which is why he infects you with every known possible disease in existence and then makes those diseases heal to you. Nurgle is legitimately a god of love, which is why I love him. He's like Aphrodite, but, you know, diseased. Scarcely believe it on a day like this. What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Wild beast breaks free in the officer's deck at the exact same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. Without taking his eyes off the dead beast, he removes the Voxcaster from his belt and speaks a few quick orders into the device. Then he turns to you. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sections of the residential decks. This is a deliberate attack to stop the culprits from advancing their plan. Yeah, Nurgle will also make you functionally immortal. Like, it is legitimately true that Nurgle does love you. But knows how to enter the premises or station. Also imprisoning one of the last surviving Eldar gods as his wife / test subject. Oh, I didn't know that. The lines on his forehead soften and his voice regains its usual courtesy. I'm afraid I must remain here, Maud. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. But you have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It's just at the end of this corridor. The Master of Whisper gives you a curt bow. The journal records your current quest, rumors, and other assignments. Open the journal. Okay. This really is just like a, I guess I don't know what I expected. It really is just what it says on the tin. It really is just a 40k CRPG, huh? I don't know why I expected anything else, but that's really what it is. It's just what it says on the tin. It's a 40k CRPG. The fuck's actually.
Victory awaits.
But no, like, for a lot of reasons, I unironically really love Nurgle. I find gross things cute inherently, so like when he makes it all like diseased. Okay, I'm sorry. One more alt tab. One more. I need to show you something. I've talked about these things on stream before, but they are my favorite. They're legitimately one of my favorite things. And Darktide and Vermintide piss me off with how they handle them, because they are legitimately friends. Hold on. This little guy right here. This little guy. This is called a Beast of Nurgle. It is probably the size of like a house. It's very big. It is about the size of a house. It is touching it will give you basically every communicable disease and uncommunicable disease known to man. It will kill you just by being near you. It is near impossible to kill because of its flesh and bulk, and also like diseases literally make things blessed by Nurgle become stronger. So like if you get a cold, that's like a +10 like protection buff on you basically. Like the more diseases you have, if you're blessed by Nurgle, the like stronger you are. And this thing has every disease, all of them. Anyway, it is big. It will kill you. It is hard to kill. And the best part is that it is a friend. It is literally like, it literally has the mentality of a puppy. It will hop around and giggle and smile and laugh and try to lick your face. It is your friend. It has the mentality of a puppy. It is literally unironically like a puppy. It is golden retriever pilled. But it touching you will kill you quickly and in like one of the most painful ways possible. You will get every disease ever. But it's a puppy. It's your friend. It goes blah, 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 blah. It plops around. It plops its big, scary body around. And I kind of hate them in Darktide and in Vermintide, because in those games they are like big scary beasts that try to kill you and hurt you and stuff. They should absolutely jump around and giggle and laugh and smile and be happy little puppies. They should still try, like they're jumping on you and grabbing you and stuff should still hurt you, but as opposed to their attacks being like grabbing you and bashing you around, they should grab you and then start licking your face, and it should like hurt you immensely. Like, they are just puppies. They are very literally just puppies. They are one of my favorite things in existence. I love Beast of Nurgle so much. They eat you in Darktide? Yeah, they wouldn't do that. They would lick your face. They'd go, ah, yum, 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 yum. Also, so they are in Vermintide. They're just called Chaos Beasts because they could technically represent anything, but, like, Chaos Beast, so other Chaos Gods don't really have Chaos Beasts. They do, but they aren't like fleshy blobs like that. Chaos Spawn in Vermintide are closer to Nurgle than they are anything else. Like, I know that they're different things, but Chaos Spawn that look like they do in Vermintide are almost exclusively Beasts of Nurgle. A Chaos Spawn is technically just any like spawn of a Chaos God that it uses to like do things. It's just a creation of a Chaos God, but like a Slaneshi Chaos Spawn would not be a big hunking flesh thing. It would look like a succubus. It would be like a fucked up, you know, like sex demon. A Khorne one would be like a spiky, angry, like hateful, like, you know, fucked up monster thing. The ones that are in Vermintide are weird fleshy goop things with tentacle arms. That's closer to Nurgle than it is anything else. But in Vermintide or in Darktide, they're explicitly called Beasts of Nurgle. And they don't act like they should.
None shall stand in my way.
Okay. A sex demon with lobster claws? That's me, brother!
A new challenge for me.
Are we only 4 Chaos Gods with no others? Oh yeah, there is a 5th one, isn't there? That's like forming. I don't remember if they ever actually decided that it formed into something. There's Tzeentch, Khorne, Slanesh, and Nurgle. I don't remember what the 5th one is.
Victory awaits.
Is it the rat one? No. Wait, is it? Rat Boy? But that's just Nurgle. Yeah, but that's end times. I'm talking 40K. Good night, Rose. That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora, says the man dressed in peculiar garb, his voice tight with tension. His face, half of which is covered by sin skin, is twisted in a grimace of displeasure and disbelief. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide, practically an admission of heresy. The tall, gray-haired woman pins him with her gaze, her cybernetic eye flashing crimson. Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation, no worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthard? Listen in silence. While you were considering your answer, Edelthard, I wish to speak with someone else. Perhaps I shall hear something more interesting than incoherent mumbling. Theodora nods in your direction. Approach. What is this? Edelthard turns to you and regards you with indignation. Is this someone from your retinue, Theodora? Do you permit your people to interrupt your conversations in such fashion? Well, that's because Age of Sigmar is fucking stupid, and End Times is stupid, and Warhammer Fantasy is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I like Vermintide, and that's it. I have a fucking huge bone to pick with all of Fantasy. Fantasy fucking sucks. 40K is significantly better. Like, by a lot. Fantasy sucks so bad they destroyed their own universe and then had God remake it. And it still sucks. They had to destroy their entire universe and then have fucking God, like essentially the God Emperor of mankind, remake it all into little islands of reality. And it still sucks. I give that permission to those with something of substance to say. Let us see if it was worth it. Theodora tilts her head, her lips stretch into a cold smile. This is Maud, the second candidate of the title of my successor. The rogue trader regards you with a look that is imperious, predatory, and oppressive. Step forward, Maud. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6, a new world on the fringes of the Coronis Expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world's populated by the natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say. But attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with the poisoned treasure? Lore Xenos succeeded. Lore Warp succeeded. Those spirits could well be the natives' name for dangerous aliens. I would first verify if it is indeed the case and if the population of Ion 6 engages in Xeno worship, or there are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Ion 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer. Yeah, by the way, if you don't know anything about 40k lore, hope to God if you're born in the 40k universe, if you ever get isekai'd there, hope to fucking Christ you don't wake up with psychic powers. Hope to Christ you don't. Because the best thing that can happen to you is you're part of the 1,000 psychic people sacrificed daily to keep the God Emperor alive. The worst that can happen to you is that you become the battery for a Geller field. Which is to say, you get put inside of a ship's core, and like the heat of the engine tortures you and burns you for eternity, and you're screaming and like desire to save yourself creates a psychic bubble around the shield that, or psychic shield bubble around the ship that lets people go through the warp. That's it. You're just tortured for all of eternity so that you can be a shield, a bubble, so that people can use intergalactic like fast travel. That's one of the worst things that can happen to you if you're a psyker. You can also be puppeted around by a four-wheel demon that uses your portal. The portal in your brain that lets you do magic is a sweet little backdoor to your mindscape. Being a psyker sucks. Yep. Character skills reflect their current level of knowledge and abilities. Sometimes you get additional information or dialogue if a passive skill check was successful. Okay. Xenos. Theodora arches an eyebrow. Reasonable and prudent, however, chasing after ethereal creatures may prove a rather long and fruitless endeavor. Edelthard scoffs. Apart from Xenos, an untrodden planet might be teeming with myriad horrors that are far more dangerous and difficult to eradicate. I suspect that you, Maud, are simply unaware of their existence. I gave a straight answer to a simple question, which as I understand was still more than you could do, Edelthard. The color drains from Edelthard's face, which distorts his features further. Insolent! Ignorant upstart! How dare you! Edelthard, Theodora's tone renders him silent. I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me, then, why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's desk instead of proceeding to the middle deck to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview. I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time. Edelthard bows ceremoniously and takes his leave without sparing you another look. Damn. Fucking BTFO to dweeb. Theodora's gaze follows him as he leaves. Then she turns to you. So, Maud, why are you here? Do not yet. Hope you will clarify that. Theodora smiles wryly. Clarity, a luxury that few of us can afford. There is a reason why I did not explain all the details of the question I posed to you earlier. Beyond the borders of the Imperium, seldom is one granted an opportunity to enjoy information in abundance. This, however, is one such opportunity. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massifo Afscaris. I am a rogue trader. What is a rogue trader? An Imperial subject with unique hereditary title. A rogue trader is tasked with exploring and exploiting the still uncharted regions of the galaxy for the benefit of mankind. Wait, what? That fucking rips. Why are they called traders? That's like an explorer. That's not a trader at all. What? I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity, and my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic, the warrant of trade kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into darkness beyond the Imperium and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign and bow death and ruin to us all. Rogue Trader is a fancy document that allows them to trade with literally anybody. Warrant of Trade, the sacred Imperial relic document that affirms the preeminent rights of a rogue trader throughout the galaxy. Ah. Yeah, so they can just do anything. They just have pure freedom then. Wonder if it expands on him more here. Not really. Okay. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whether, whatever I find past the bounds of the explored world, explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you, Mod, are one of those with the Von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. I'm ready to take on this sacred wait, does this mean there are other heirs? Naturally, some of them have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthard may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone isn't enough to earn the high honor of becoming a bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful, if not for the role of the Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Theodora sighs and looks away pensively for a brief moment. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Conrad served me for many years before he made his mistake. Wait, what mistake? Are you correct? The Master of Whispers is related to you? His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name Von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. His performance in his current role is satisfactory, or it used to be at least. Okay, I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose. Oh yes, you would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader. If you're satisfied with Edelthar, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me? Theodora shakes her head. Impatience. I'm rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstances and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthard as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skill and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here in the Coronis Expanse. Service in the Astra Militarium is a trial from which very few people emerge with their life. That you have risen through the ranks of the Imperial Guard and assumed command of an army is a testament of your astuteness, both on the battlefield and in the tangled net of officer intrigues. I assure you, the company that a rogue trader keeps will offer you plenty of choices to demonstrate both your diplomatic skill and combat prowess. Good night, Dan Cash. Thanks for being here. I ask questions now. The Vox affixed to Theodora's attire suddenly comes to life, but all you can hear is unintelligible noise. Theodora winces, shuts off the transmission, and gives an imperious nod. I have some time before the navigator gives signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. Oh yeah, so a bunch of you probably don't know what the warp is if you don't know anything about 40K. It's basically faster than light travel. It's like wormholes. You can enter the warp and that lets you, like, you know, fold space and time to go from point A to point B instantly without, like, having to do anything. Yeah, it's also space hell. Going inside the warp without a Geller field instantly corrupts you, because inside the warp is the malcontent of human emotions. So that's where the Chaos Gods live. Yeah, if you've ever watched Event Horizon, Event Horizon is, we were gonna watch it during October, and I fucked up. We might watch it sometime this week, maybe tomorrow even. Event Horizon is basically a 40K fan movie. Yeah, it is inside the warp is the amalgamation of the energies created by all human emotions, which is what the Chaos Gods are. They are personifications of those human emotions. For example, Nurgle is unironically the personification of love for life itself, but like we've said, he's love for all life, even down to cellular amoebas, and bacteria that give you, like, cancer. So Whoopsie. All life is sacred to Nurgle, including the life that kills you. You know, Slaanesh is the god of sex because, you know, people be fucking horny. I say human emotions. It's really all sentient creature emotions. But yeah, it is going through there without some kind of psychic field. Yeah, it's made of all thoughts and emotions. If you go into the warp without a psychic field protecting you, a Geller field, you will just instantly be corrupted by the like pure amount of like thoughts and energies and feelings. And like, if you're feeling a little horny and then you go in the warp, you're gonna come out like worshiping Slaanesh. Like that's it. That's just gonna happen. If you go in with a cough, sorry, Nurgle's got your ass now. And that's really only if you like find a chaos god. What you likely come out as is just like a fucked up flesh beast that's like been so corrupted by warp energies that you were like seeing all possible emotions at once, and it just warps your body and your brain into nothing. Navigator translation, what are these things you speak of? Yeah, so the ship you're on has a tortured psychic on board to protect you. It has to have it there or you die. Not that the tortured psychic is willingly there to be tortured. But, you know, the Empire needs them to be tortured so that you can go into warp space. Smile. Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir. You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows. What are my current responsibilities? This is just how 40k music sounds. Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, you will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthard. Until the time comes, consider yourself my aide. Where's your ship headed? The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Only 3 rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House Vaughn and Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykard on the demand. Theodore grimaces. She gives you a stern look and shrugs. For a very specific reason. Then perhaps I shall yet appraise you of the purpose of this voyage, but now is not the time. Yeah, for example, Nurgle's whole thing is bells. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep alt-tabbing to show you cool 40k stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can find him. There is a model that I fucking love that you can buy. Nurgle's whole thing is bells, but like, you know, sort of like the bells that toll for these sort of thing. So there is a guy, this is a support unit when you're playing the tabletop. This is a support unit who has the ability to buff units around him. And he does it with the music from his bells. He has bells everywhere. He's got a bell here, he's got a bell, he's got 2 bells here, he's got, you can't see them, but he's got little bell spurs on. His weapon is a bell. He's got 3 bells on his back. This little guy has a bell. He has so many bells. I think I counted one time, he has 14 bells. So he just walks around going clang, 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 clang. So good. And of course, they're all rusty and shit because, you know, rust is a bacteria and Nurgle loves bacteria. He also has a censer full of rotting flesh blessed by Nurgle. True. Rust is not that. Yeah, it is. Oh, it can be. There's like bacteria that cause rust, isn't there? I'm like 99% sure of this. Rust is oxidizing iron. I know, but there's like bacteria found in rust, isn't there? I wish my mouth would stop doing this. Oh, it's like pissing me off. Oh, okay. I thought rust was bacteria, because if you get stabbed with rust, you get like tetanus, right? And that's like the bacteria from rust, isn't it? That like makes rust. It's in your blood then. Maybe I'm just stupid. I forget that people without direct access to a ship bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing to the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of a Geller field, we shorten the route to our destination and crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead, sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars. Iron oxidizing bacteria are extremely rare? Oh, okay. So there are bacteria that do that, though. There are. I was right about that part. That like cause rust to happen. Maybe I was just getting confused and I thought all rust was that. Do you remember passing the planet? Okay. Lady Theodora, for God Emperor's sake, surely you don't intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff. Enough, Abelard, or Abelard. Such heresy amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. She turns to you. The ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folk speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. Okay. Personally, I don't like living in Rust because I played that game once, and when I logged on to like 10-year-olds with Call of Duty mics started hitting me with rocks until they killed me, and I kept respawning in the same place, so they kept doing that over and over again. And then when I left and joined another server, the first house I saw had the N-word on it, so I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore, and I stopped playing. So I'm not a big fan of living in Rust, personally. It's not totally my thing, I'll be honest with you. Rust private servers could be fun. There was like a whole wave like a year or two ago of like people playing Rust private servers. That sounds fun. Also, fuck Gary. Wait, why? I like Gary. I was on Face Punch for years. He's kind of a dick, but I do like him a little bit. Did he do something bad that I don't know about? For deleting the forums? Oh, well, yeah, fuck him for that. That's why I'm mad. Yeah, no. Ray, were you on Face Punch? Have we had this conversation before? Sorry, I'm Eto Bois memory issues. I hate claiming that constantly because I feel like it's just like, I feel like it gets tiresome to be like, oh yeah, of course your memory issues. How convenient. But like, okay. Yeah, okay, sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry. I feel bad now. So people before you were though? Wait, were you? I was an 07er. Talked about memory issues, can't remember? I don't remember. I think we all know you forgot many things by now. I know, I just feel bad about it. Yeah, anyway. Okay, so she'll head to Theodora's Vox Awakens once more. This time you pick up shouting the Lord's Captain freezes, listening to the Voxcast, and I'm sorry, this is a lot of reading. Disturbance reported. Okay, you know what? Read it yourself. I'm sorry. Think about it later, I guess? Okay. I was either an 07er or an 06er. I can't remember. I know it's a CRPG. I'm just like, we're near the end of the stream and I'm kind of losing a little bit of energy, but like I want to play for the 2 hours so I can get the full game. Because if I get the full game of this, especially if I get it for free, there's a good chance I will just do a full playthrough of this.
I took care of this one. Reduced to dust.
God damn. Are their games usually like fully or partially voice acted? Cover to avoid enemy. Oh, it is like XCOM. Wait, how do I... I'm not seeing the skull thing it was just talking about, though. Oh, I guess I have to hold control? Maybe it said that and I'm dumb. Hold on, did it? How do I... Is there a way to bring up the helper again? Whatever. Wait, so... No.
Never wavered in the face of adversity.
Okay, so this is my problem. I have never been very good at, like... Hi, Marcy. They made a CRPG that uses XCOM rules and is 40k, and I think I'm kind of in love. Like, if this really does just play like 40k, I'm kind of in love, because that's like a perfect combat system to me for stuff like this. Although I will say... yes, Molly, you do. If it dies in the middle of your... Or if they die in the middle of your, in the middle of a warp, though, you're fucked. Okay, chat, this is something I've always been confused about, and I've never really gotten this in these sort of games. Like, when I play Fire Emblem, I struggle with this too. How do I explain this? How do you know where to position a unit? Like, whenever I play Fire Emblem, for example, I kind of just move units forward until they're, like, surrounding a dude, and then I just beat him up. Like, I've never, like, and, you know, sometimes, like, I'll just have, like, one, like, you know, 6 units all go on one person and kill them in one turn. Like, I don't understand how you're supposed to know how to position stuff. I played, like, 4 Fire Emblem games in a row, and I never figured it out. I don't get it. I don't understand how you're supposed to do it.
Suits my purposes.
Damn, I missed.
I'll pass.
Yeah, but in something like Fire Emblem, like, you could lose people permanently, you know, and that's what makes it difficult. I don't know. It's hard to explain without, like, showing you, but I don't understand. I understand more in something like XCOM because there's cover and stuff like that, but I don't know. There's people who like I watched Lynn play those games, and she's like so good at strategy stuff, and she goes through it and all this other kind of stuff and like never loses anybody and is like so good and plays at like hard difficulty, and I'm like struggling with easy, and it's, I don't know. I really want to be good at strategy games like that, but I just don't understand them inherently. Like, I don't understand why to not do, like, I don't understand how to do anything but basically just go in a straight line directly at the enemy. And if that gets me killed, like, it obviously will. Like, I don't really know what to do outside of that. In a world full of deadly dangers, the help of your allies can save your life. Look closer, your character has received a temporary positive effect from a companion. Where? Where do I see that? Excuse me. I mean, kinda. Oh, here. Kill them. The target of this ability gains 50 BS till the end of combat. Brother, I'm full of 100% BS, if you know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Sorry for that.
I shall not fear.
Oh, okay. Wow. Killed. Critical hit. Your character just landed a critical hit. This deals increased damage equal to the character's critical damage stat. Cool. Okay, I really like that this has an XCOM style combat system. Like, I really like it.
I took care of this one.
Mother, I want kisses. Now.
Mwah. Fire Emblem tanky guys usually bait forces into rangers, can make them more vulnerable to / in safe range. Squishy damage dealers and FE mostly need to focus on positioning and type for positioning. Only any one unit position where it gets surrounded or attacked on multiple sides. Flying units have different modes of movement to ground. Method units different also. And you need to be aware of what weapons, etc., are effective against certain enemy types. Take advantage of that. Oh, I did kiss him out of existence. Whoops, sorry. I guess that's my problem, what you just said, Bench Dude. I kind of get everything that, like, maybe I was trying to do stuff playing Blood Bowl, which, for clarity, you fork the entire rest of your turn on the fumble. So you do all your safe actions first, and specifically optimize your order of actions moves. Okay. So, like, I think that that's part of my problem, though, Bench Dude. I don't understand how the computer acts. Like, sometimes I'll, like, when I was playing Fire Emblem Awakening on my 3DS a long time ago, right? I was really addicted to it. I spent like 2 whole days just like playing nothing but it. I was really addicted. I was doing all the side missions. I was having a great time. Donald is fucking broken, by the way. Holy shit, that kid is so busted. Like, so busted, he kind of made the game a little unfun towards the end because it was just like, nobody can beat Donald. You just keep throwing Donald at things and you just go in with just Donald and nothing can kill him. And he's over here like, yuck, shucks, can't believe I did that. It's really funny. But anyway, so like I was playing that game and like I would start to strategize sometimes and I would be like I would start to strategize and I would be like, okay, so I'm gonna like move this character here and this character here, and then that should make the AI go here. And then it, like, every single time I thought I knew what the AI was gonna do, they just didn't. Every time. Like, I never figured out like how the AI thinks or what it does or anything. It was just like, oh, okay, like I tried to split these people up and move them to groups or whatever. Nope, everybody, even people from across the map, are just moving to my one guy. Cool. And like 6 people all moved on top of them and now they're dead. And I have to like restart the mission. Cool. That's fun. Because I was too much of a pussy to play with permadeath. Because I'm bad at those types of games, so. Theodora waves her hand in a commanding gesture. Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single Whoreson survive. The rogue trader turns her eyes to you. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst on the deck, Not bad. I've seen many an officer who panicked at sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security makes them that much more susceptible to the harsh realities of warp transitions. She looks at the Vox in her hand and all you can hear is lifeless static. The incident with the beast on the officer's deck may be connected to what's transpiring now. Possibly, quite likely. Theodora winces and flicks the switch on her Vox a few times. We'll investigate at a later time. Right now we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation. Like, I don't know. I really want to like tactics games, and I like them in theory, but I'm so fucking bad at them that I just like, I don't know. I'm just bad at them. Like, I want to play more of them, but I'm so bad at them that I'm kind of like pushed off the genre a little bit, even though I really like them. I thought about streaming Final Fantasy Tactics like multiple times because everybody like loves that game so much, but I'm so bad at them. Like, I don't know. What are your orders? She breaks eye contact with you. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him. See if the arch-militant requires aid and be quick about it. Officer's deck is under attack by an unknown enemy, so arch-militant Mort has left a clear way to the upper decks. Okay. Oh yeah, I've actually thought about streaming Valkyria Chronicles multiple times, because Valkyria Chronicles is like, what if World War II was anime and also Fire Emblem? It's really funny. I have thought about streaming it. Like, I've played the first like 30 minutes of Valkyria Chronicles back in like 2016, and then I was like, oh, this is so good. I have to stream this for when I become a streamer eventually. I've thought about streaming it multiple times. Anyway.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
So where am I going? It's a really good tactics team. I mean, would you guys want to watch that? I've thought about it numerous times. If you guys think it would be fun, I would be more than happy to. I just kind of didn't know how much of my audience liked tactics games. Hold on 1 second, chat. Okay, sorry about that, chat. Okay. Where am I going? Oh, Heretic Cultist? Is that what that said? Wait, are these Gene Stealer cultists? Also, that guy just 100% suicide bombed. You don't draw bad hentai, your porn's good. Heretic Cutthroat. Breakthrough attempt. Crew to arms. No, I know. I thought it just said Heretic Cultist, and I was like, wait, hold on.
Victory awaits.
I don't think it did, though. I think it said Heretic Cutthroat, and I just misread it. Chat, I'm out of Tylenol, and I know the last time I asked this, chat said that that it was better for headaches, but I can feel like a headache coming on in my temple, because my eyes are starting to hurt. They've been hurting all day because of dumb bullshit. Anyway, will aspirin still help a headache, chat? I have some. I know it like lowers your blood pressure or whatever. Will it help a headache too? Okay, cool. And it's not like a bad headache. I just want to pass it off before it comes to fruition. My eyes just kind of hurt. They were hurting last night because I was up too late because of insomnia. So they were like starting to get like dry and like not dry, but like, you know, when you stare at a screen too long, they start to like burn. They were doing that, and so now they've just kind of been like a little sore, a little bruised, so to speak, I guess, all day. And when my eyes feel that way, it starts to get like a minor headache. I just want to cut it off at the pass. Always the times. More, pull yourself together. Lord Captain, send you. Sorry, chat. I don't have it in me. It's a little late. I don't have it in me to like read all of this right now. My left eye has also been twitching, like not the eye, but like inside my eyelid when I like blink sometimes, I can feel it like twitch a little. It's been doing that for like a number of days before anybody goes like, it's the energy drinks. Been doing that for like a week now. It's really annoying. It's just because I'm staying up too late. It does that when I stay up too late. But I've been staying up too late a lot. Oh fuck, what, am I gonna die? Are you also withdrawing from pot overuse? No, I just have insomnia. Flushing your eye with water sometime? How do you do that exactly? Master serves what's happening in my ship. Voxnut is silent. Voxmaster's not responding. There's a severe case of warp madness. Have some of my crew lost their minds, forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report. I've not yet received word from Engineering regarding any Geller field failures, but communications are already unstable half an hour ago. All together. Mutiny, but who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics, fools, heretics. The ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced illusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge navigator special changes. Edelthard, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psycho aboard a ship that is potentially being assaulted by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and the others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. Try to locate him, but the last known thing about his movements is that he arrived on transitional deck 18. Last hit, find him immediately. Lord Captain, transitional deck 18 is the heart of the disturbance and will bring Edelthard to support. Oh, he's totally gonna like, Edelthard's gonna turn into a big scary psyker monster thing, and we're going to be he's gonna turn into a big scary fucked up psyker monster thing, and then it's gonna be like, well, I guess I had no other candidates, guess you're my new second in command or whatever. Oh, and then she's gonna die. It's gonna be like, you're a rogue traitor now. I can feel it. This elevator should lead to restricting compartments. I should do everything in my power. Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out. You ready to head to 18? It's a long walk if you don't have the proper gear. Proposition, since I'm the more important person here, you can go in front and shield me from potential threats. Certainly, Lady Theodora would be devastated to lose one of her precious heirs, but that is no longer relevant. They hit you in the abdomen, you were consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. No, he's bad! No, the Master of Whispers is evil? Who could have seen this coming? No! When it comes to Warhammer, I really like fantasy, but I really dislike 40k. Get better opinions. Sorry, fantasy sucks. Fantasy's fucking boring. 40k owns. No, that's fair. That's actually fair. 40k sucks. I mean, you're just wrong. It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. Fantasy has Skaven though. That's literally the only plus that fantasy have. Like, fantasy having Skaven is literally their only plus. I do love Skaven a lot. That's basically the only thing I like from fantasy. I do like the headcanon, Chaos Warriors are cooler than Space Marines. Alright, you're just wrong there. I do really like the headcanon. It's not a Nazi's wet dream. What are you talking about? What the fuck? What? Me when I say the most unhinged, insane shit ever in Kyria's chat? What? All of Games Workshop's properties are like all of their workshops, or all of Game Workshop's properties could easily be considered a fascist wet dream if you take it wrong. That sounds a bit harsh. No, that's just not true. Like, that's just not true. I mean, I don't want to like dog on. I don't want chat to like dog on you or anything. Don't do that. I'm just saying, like, that's just not true. It's like saying like Fight Club is a fascist wet dream because, you know, you can look at Tyler Durden and be like, oh, he's the coolest. Yeah, if you misunderstand the point entirely, sure. If you look at humans and go, wow, they're so good, I love the God Emperor of mankind. Yeah, you've missed the point of 40K. I guess that it's a fascist wet dream. Just wild to me, wild take. Don't like the aesthetic? I mean, that's fair. That's okay. Just, I wouldn't really say that it's a Nazi's wet dream. That's a little insulting. Like, I really like 40K. Doesn't make me a Nazi, you know? That's a little insulting. Two-faced scum, you're the one behind this mayhem. Perceptive of you. We're in the Antilium of Warrant Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There beyond those gates lies the relic, gives all of our power. Orange trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that only opened the door of a true heir of the dynasty. So this is my Zeus part myself, but never mind, you offer the blood of the Sentinel. I have no intention of helping you. I'm afraid that you have no choice in the matter. Try to resist and demonstrate the power of that the warp holds over mortals. Something that might even take some pleasure in doing so. To the void with you. Ooh, skill checks. Willpower 30. Fight the voice in your head. Get out and oh no. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I've already said at length that I don't really like fantasy stuff in general. Like, I'm way more sci-fi, but in the part of Warhammer that every faction sucks, his war and industrialism are bad in its dystopian setting. Yes. The point is that there are no good guys in 40K. Like, I mean, in fantasy as well, there are no good guys. Like, that's kind of the thing I don't like about new fantasy, is that they've kind of tried to make a good guy. Like, within fantasy, they rebooted the entire world. They had the literal god, who is essentially the god emperor of mankind. Like, he's basically the same thing. He was like, wow, this shit sucks, and literally like rebooted, like turned off and turned back on the computer of the entire world, and now all of reality is separated into these like little like islands or whatever. It was part of this huge like rehash of like game rules and everything else that they did for 40K, or for fantasy rather. And as an attempt to make it both like more easy to get into and more appealing to new players, and also to like retcon some old lore from like 30 or 40 years ago, stuff like that. Like, everyone's sucking this. When everyone sucks in New Vegas, you don't like it, hypocrite. True. New Vegas doesn't have Nurgle, so no, you're right though. But like, but then in the new fantasy, they made these like angel people, who were kind of just the good guys. Like, there's like these weird like angel things that are basically just space marines in new fantasy, and they're kind of just the good guys. They're like remnants of like the god emperor's like psychic fracture, or like psyche like fractured out or something. I don't know, they suck, and they're just basically the good guys, and the whole point is that there are no good guys, so I kind of hate them for that reason alone. I mean, fantasy is a little less that, but still, it's very much like there's kind of no good guys, so why are there just good guys? The blade flashes in the dim light, and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous. Your head is spinning, and then quiet. Whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your thoughts, placing in the single urge to go to the gate, go to the gate, go to the gate. Warhammer, what is a Warhammer Fantasy in this series? Already dark fantasy, sci-fi fantasy? Yeah, there's Warhammer Fantasy, which is like Skyrim, like sword and board, like medieval stuff, and there's 40K, which is like sci-fi. That's what this is. Warhammer Trek succeeded. The voices in your head persist in their demands, and yet you feel this unseen chorus momentarily waver under the strength of your resolve. Till the intruding influence forces you to your feet and pushes you forward, the gates looming in the center of the chamber. You see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso switches slightly. It's a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up two ember-like irises. Yeah, so gamers, remember how I was talking about how if you're like if you're a human, you might get turned into a computer? This guy is a lobotomized person who got turned into a computer, and his entire existence is just to open that door. His entire both of these guys, their entire existence for the rest of time will just be to control whether or not this door opens. But like, you know, in like an AI way, and like to make sure that like the right people are opening this door. The computer has to think a little critically and like run checks that are more than just like 1 or 0. So it has to be a person, because making a computer that thinks is heresy. What is my purpose? You open the door. To exist is to serve the Emperor. Yeah. Tech use failed. You look over the gate cogitator. There is little chance that you were able to discern anything about its design. Like any other sacred machine in the Imperium, this relic is a specialty of the machine cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Servitor in the gate begins to move. With a screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with the sharp metallic fangs glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing the strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. They borrowed from Dune? What? This exists pre-Dune. Whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifices. The voices that filled your head after wound you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. No, I'm talking about the computers. I'm not talking about 40K. I'm talking about human computers like that are not like stolen from Dune. They existed before Dune. That was a thing before Dune, you know. Human computers are not just a Dune thing. Servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you're used to. Copper thread stitches its skin. The joints are replaced by metal hinges. As soon as the creators assembled did everything so the result of their work would serve much longer than ordinary working automatons. Hi, Vala. Place your hand into the sentinel. Look for anything to be used as a weapon, actually. Look around for hopes, finding at least something that works as a weapon. Your search is in vain. Chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. Hi, Vexy. Sentinel's jaw clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes, but none of this ever had. High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? I understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the cogitator? Figment of your wary mind? Whatever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Suppose this is the onset of warp madness they warned to me about. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem that the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm. Okay. Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol. What? Oh, because it I see. Because it has my blood, so the ship is like listening to me. I did request assistance. Check the warrant chamber. Make sure the sacred warrant is safe.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of okay, the paragon of humanity and spoken by adversity, walk bravely so the agreement was lost. Triumph over nightmares and told to hold bears through the pain to greatness. Servo skulls creaking gradually turns into comprehensible words. Escort the child out of the house to safety. I mean, it's true that like Games Workshop steals a lot of shit. Like I said, Tyranids are basically just xenomorphs, but they basically just take the concept for something and then turn it into something else. Like, you know, they take the they take the concept for for a thing and then fit it into their world in what I consider to be a pretty unique way. Like Tyranids are just xenomorphs. They even do the same thing of like putting eggs inside of people and like, you know, chest bursters and stuff. But it's like, you know, the idea sort of behind chest bursters. But rather than being chest bursters, they instead form a religious cult that, you know, through generations intercedes itself into humanity, which is really cool. It's a lot cooler than a chest burster. But they're ultimately still just like, you know, taking xenomorphs. Necrons are, yeah, Necrons are just Terminators. They're just Egyptian Terminators. Escort the child of the house to the safety. What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me? Temporary what the fuck does this? Hold on, chat. I need you to be a dictionary for a second. What the fuck does obnubilation? What the fuck is this word? Obnubilation? Somebody dictionary this shit. What the fuck? Darken, dim, or cover with as if with a cloud or obscure. What the fuck? Cursor, I'm gonna beat you to death. You're dim, that is temporarily feeling dim. Temporary, oh yeah, temporary obnubulation. So temporarily feeling stupid following acute stress, or temporarily feeling dumb following acute stress. Mobile unit of the warrant sentinel standing by. I need my weapon. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Oh, okay. I mean, did you guys see that the new WoW expansion basically just stole the idea of elite specs? Like, it's not one-to-one stealing like the flight mechanics are. That's like one-to-one. But the idea of an elite spec, that being like a trait line that very massively and cosmetically changes how your character, your class plays based on lore, is in their new expansion. It's almost literally just elite specs. It's like shockingly similar. Just rename the subclasses? As far as I can tell, no. You basically get a new, like, that's how it used to be, wasn't it? Kind of. So basically, from what I can tell, you get two new trait lines, or you get two trait lines. So like, if you're a druid, you could be like a boomkin and like, I don't remember the exact thing. Whatever. You basically, it's like Guild Wars now. You get 3 trait lines. You get 2 of them from the old trait lines, like how it was before, but before you would only get 1. Now you get 2 trait lines, and then you get a 3rd trait line that only has 10 points in it, as opposed to the like 80 or whatever that the other ones have. And this new 3rd trait line is based on lore of your class, like class fantasy. So like you could be a priestess of the Loon druid, or like a druid of the Grove, and that in turn changes how your class plays, both cosmetically and I think from like a gameplay perspective as well. So it's literally just an elite spec. Like it's just a thing that cosmetically changes how your class plays, or cosmetically and mechanically changes how your class plays based on lore as a 3rd trait line. Like it's literally just elite specs. The only difference is you don't get a new weapon. It's even the 3rd trait line. Like, come on. I might be wrong. But from what I read, that's basically what it is. Good night, Marissa. Yeah, it's basically how WoW used to work. They're trying to lean into class fantasy, which I ultimately think is a good thing. I don't think it's that much of a steal, but it is. I am kind of just like, wow, you guys just can't stop, huh? They're like, damn, the flying that we stole went over so well. What else can we take? That. Are you the Warrant Sentinel? The mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel designed as personal escort. Mobile unit standing by. I need to contact somebody. Place the Mechanicus, screeching the servos. The Vox Skull predicts the voice of Theodora. Distorted and written with static, yet so recognizable. Voxmaster, restore communication with Navigator Sectum. I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me, this frequently regroup all forces. Repeat, regroup all available forces and head. Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unstable to establish two-way connection. To prevent unauthorized units reaching the warrant, preemptive sealing must be initiated. Okay.
It's about time.
This lore is very fascinating. I just have one question. When do I get to eat the funny bugs?
You don't. They're Minnesotan. Yeah. And Dredge have existed since Guild Wars 1, so that's significantly less defensible. Also, this is a lot less of a theft thing, but I do think it's kind of funny that they basically stole Guild Wars' like expansion structure
when do the funny
too.
bugs get to eat me?
Yes, they will. They will eat you. They basically stole Guild Wars 2's expansion schedule. So I don't know if you guys saw this. They announced the next 3 expansions. They basically were like, hey, we're gonna start making smaller expansions, and we're gonna like pump them out faster. So here's the next 3 expansions, and they're all part of like one big story saga. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Can you guys just let ArenaNet breathe for 10 seconds, please? Like, other MMOs have done this, so it's not like totally stealing from just ArenaNet, but it's like, you're really announcing this at the exact same time ArenaNet decides they're gonna do the same thing. Come on, dude. Come on. Abelard. Mesmermers. They're scared, I think. I have it on good authority. This community ain't the only one that got fed up and moved to Guild Wars 2. Oh, do you now? That's interesting. Mistress Mod, what are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you throw and preserve me? What is the meaning of this? Conrad is a traitor. We parted ways on the officer's deck. He stunned me somehow and brought me here. Yeah, no, it is not a move that shows confidence at all. Take revenge on Theodora for an old grudge and become the rogue trader himself. Spoke to filing the warrant with some ritual, serving the gods. Damn. I know that Guild Wars in general, ever since Soto, has experienced a really big player boom. Which makes sense, because Soto overhauled a lot of stuff to make it a lot more like new player friendly, like the daily system. They're never going to get Legion levels again. It's just never going to happen. Tended to take revenge on Theodora for an old grudge and become the road trader himself. Blue Cowboy, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. How's Red Dead Redemption 2?
Just traded the graveyard
App's name for your for the game you were playing. They're also just forever fucked in China. Yeah, which is really bad for them. Meanwhile, Guild Wars is very popular in China. Fun fact. They have a different version of the game than we do because theirs is a lot more cash shop oriented because that's just how things are in China. But like, and there's like a different publishing company, but it is significantly Guild Wars is very popular in China. Charity live stream, nice. No, I know, I'm just saying. Sumi is the one responsible for the mutiny, and Mistress Mod, I wish to remind you that you were to refer to Lord Captain as Lady Theodora. He openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny. Grox, wait, what is Grox? A large half-domesticated reptile widespread in the Imperium. Oh, okay. Grok seed, then it is a small wonder what the heretics are, or that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal all passages between deck was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading it to other levels, but now I see the real reason. Stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive and now safe, Mistress Maud. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. Raise 120 USD for kids with cancer. Let's go! Congrats! Adelard examined you critically. You were in a bad way, Mod. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And for love of throne, now isn't a good time we walk around the deck, so that means of self-defense. Here, hand you a weapon. Hand you a weapon. Hand you a weapon. Hand you a weapon. I mean, did you guys see the Did you guys see the new trailer for the War Within that they announced that had Anduin Wren experience twink death real time? Did you guys see that? He's gone from like femboy ass looking like Pixar character to like gruff grizzled man, and he's aged like 2 years. He's got like a beard and shit. It's really funny. Injuries reduce the character stats, and if 3 more injuries accumulate, character will get trauma. Oh, okay. Combat. The wounds of all members of the party are restored automatically, but received injury remains. Inventory. Okay, hold on. Okay. Equip. Equip. Okay. Can't be equipped by this character. Oh, but he can. And I guess he's in my party now? Okay. How do I make him do that to me?
Sometimes you consult the appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
Wait, that was a good line. Did you guys hear that? He's like, sometimes you can consult the Imperium treaties on like bullshit and figure out what to do. Sometimes, though, you just fire your big cannon and hope it saves the day. That was good.
Let's fetch you back into the fray.
Notable improvement, Mod. Now you're ready and prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics, instigating rabble to revolt, but that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. There's almost nobody around to do group content unless you're on the highest pop servers. Oh, fun. In the middle decks is much worse, although the strike teams have been dispatched there. All communications with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost, so apart from scattered Vox scouts, we have no information to go on. God, I really hope all of this is voiced later. Worst of it all these jolts and shaking are making us alarming. These are the signs that navigate their master helmsmen are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp into real space. The worst case, they've already lost control of the process, and we have precious few moments left to live. Best case, we manage to reach Navigator's sanctum and get a handle of the situation. Some aboard this vessel may yet survive. Lead the way. Right of blood. Good night, Crimson Owl. They already play the demon goats now, so you win some, you lose some. Wait, what demon goats? To arms, loyal sons and daughters, flight of heresy. Counting scholar crew to battle. Onward. The Draconid? Wait, hold on, I gotta Google something. The red Draenei Eridar? Wait, they let you play Eridar? Oh my god, they do. Wait, that's funny. They let you play Eridar now, huh? Are they Horde? Is it just the Draenei on Horde? Or are they Alliance? Is it like when they did that thing where they shifted races over to the other side so that people would actually play them? It looks like... Wait, oh my god. Wait, oh, that's awful. Wait, what? That makes me so mad. That makes me... Gamers, it's not even an ally. You know how Magcar orcs are just orcs recolored, right? But you know how they're like a separate race with a separate racial passive and stuff like this? That isn't even this. This is just customization options. Like, it's an allied race, but they didn't even bother making it a separate race. You just unlock the customization options for your Draenei. You're just merged with normal Draenei. It's not even a separate allied race. Why make this system if you're not gonna use it? You might as well just put Magcar orcs with regular orcs then, and mecha gnomes with regular gnomes. Why? Why make the system if you're not gonna use it? Oh, that makes me mad. Oh no. They're apparently adding a new way to harass people too. They're adding the ping system, like the one found in like Dota and League of Legends and shit. Wait, no, it's worse. It's literally the ping system from Guild Wars. Wait, no. No, it's literally the ping system from Guild Wars. I'm not joking. It's the exact same thing. You have got to be kidding me. All right, whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever. What the fuck ever, man. Holy shit. Coming to Z around, doing the shine characters on attack. Oh, hi, everybody. Sorry I ever tried to get you to play it with me. It's okay. You play the better game now. You know what sucks is I do still like the world that WoW has, but it's so like even though I like the world, it feels so bad to be in it now. You know what I mean? Every time there's something cool, then 10 seconds later they have to fuck it up with somebody doing like, you know, a stupid dance or like making a dumb joke or whatever. Like it doesn't even feel like the world is allowed to take itself seriously anymore. Everybody's gonna be quirky and silly. Also, boring Kyria, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the graveyard. I enjoyed your stay. Shit makes me mad. Okay, yeah, I know how AP works. So it's a Marvel movie? Yes, actually, yes. It's been like that since Kata, but yeah, but like, I don't know.
Not a problem for me.
I don't know about to comment on that, but apparently Hearthstone is doing a Wild West set. They made a card called Farmhand. It's a cute big undead hand in overalls. I guess. Character miss, increased chance to hit. Okay, got it. I know how to play a video game. It's fine. I got everybody into Guild Wars 2, and we're gonna start raiding in 2 days. Which, by the way, should have said something about that. Maybe when I almost bring a power monster down through the help of my crew of 25, and then Khadgar shows up and saves the day. I mean, like, this is the thing I like about Guild Wars 2 more than WoW as well. Like, your character in Guild Wars 2, the commander actually exists, you know? You get to be in cutscenes. People get to show up and talk to you. You get to, like, exist. Whereas in every single WoW cutscene, it's just the big names of WoW yelling at each other and talking at each other, while Blizzard has to pat you on the shoulder and be like, you're on the side over there in the corner. You're just right there. And you're sternly putting your arms together and shaking your head and going, tut, tut, tut. I do not approve of this Garrosh guy. Tut, tut, tut. We promise you're doing that in the corner. We can't show you, but we promise you're doing that over in the corner. Whereas at least in fucking Guild Wars, you get to like be a character. You get to be the big name.
Tried and tested tactics are the best.
Final Fantasy has this as well. The Warrior of Light actually fucking matters.
It will be done.
Absolutely not.
Oh, I mean, okay. Next action point costs 1 point less, suffers a 10 PS penalty, does not count towards the limit of attacks per turn. Weird paper doll system for cutscenes. Oh yeah, when they couldn't, when they didn't have the budget to animate stuff, so everybody just was like moving PNGs. The microcosm of how they handled Garrosh, or the microcosm of the whole thing for me is the way they handled Garrosh, actually. He's the big final boss of Mist of Pandaria, but you can't kill him. The big guys carry him off where he escapes and is killed halfway through the next expansion. In a cutscene you're not even in. Yep. I mean, the thing is, they're trying to adapt the story from the Warcraft games, right? But in the Warcraft games, you aren't a random Azeroth hero. You aren't a champion of Azeroth. You are Arthas. You are Uther Pendragon. You are these characters. You are playing as these characters. So when you're in a cutscene, it feels right. It feels good. You are, you know, these characters, and you know, when they have a story moment, that's you having a story moment. But because of the nature of customizable characters and everything, you aren't allowed to have a story moment in World of Warcraft. Because how are they going to know what you are, what you look like, etc.? You're just a guy who's there. You made all the shit happen, but you're just a guy who's there. In any big cutscene, you can't be there. But Guild Wars 2 was written specifically around the idea of who your player character is, which does mean sometimes there is some stuff where it's like nobody really gives a shit if you're an Asura or a Sylvari or anything like that in like cutscenes, because they don't know what you are, so they have to kind of vaguely gesture at the commander. But at least you're a character, you know what I mean? At least you're something. Like, even if you're just kind of vaguely the commander, at least you're something. You have a shape to inhabit that shows up in the cutscenes as opposed to just, you know, oh, I'm just like a guy. I'm here in the corner, I promise.
Just a minor setback. Pain and duty.
Played Guild Wars 2 on launch day? I don't know, probably. It was pretty popular and it was buy to play. So there's a chance you did. Ooh, hits multiple enemies at once. Let's go! That was hot! Oh my god, I'm gonna come. That was hot. That was fucking hot. Oh!
All too easy.
Brace yourself, Avalanche. At your beck and call.
Die. When the world defeating opponents, character gains XP. XP. Alright. Cool. Alright, we're gonna stop here because that's 2 hours, but also I really like this. If this comes out full scale, I will be playing this. If this comes out and I get it full scale, like the full game, whether I get it for free or somebody buys it for me, I will be playing this. I will go through this whole game. I really like this. The XCOM combat mixed with the like CRPG-ness of it, I'm actually in love. Plus 40k, which I come and I clap and I cheer at. Okay, who am I getting you to? Yeah, it's incredible that we went from a terrible game to this. Played a human engineer. I play an Asura engineer. They're good. Oh, hey, it's Nikki's affiliate anniversary. Everybody go say hi to Nikki. Go tell... Oh my god, that PNG. Everybody go say hi to Nikki and tell him happy affiliate anniversary, okay? He's a newer friend of mine. I want everybody to go be nice and say happy affiliate anniversary. It'll probably prompt you to do so, but you know, be nice and say good happy anniversary and stuff. Is the PNG I'm thinking of? Maybe. Anyway, good night, goodbye, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. I will have a schedule out tomorrow, so yeah. Good night, goodbye, I love you, see you then, bye!
Oh! Did I scare you? Thank you for watching, and especially a big thank you to everybody in today's credits for their support on the stream. I hope to see you again soon. Bye!